So learning to code, balancing out all the projects you need to build, all the fundamentals and courses you need to follow, whilst having a full-time job, a career, responsibilities outside of work, gym, social life. It can be really overwhelming, but I'm going to kind of talk about my experiences and how to avoid burnout, how to avoid the stress of balancing all this out with life in general, and maybe it can help you. So, firstly, I'm going to talk about the stress and anxiety that having a lot on your plate can cause you. Obviously, you might have a lot of goals, you might be very ambitious, but if you put too much on your plate, it sounds like common sense, but naturally, you could get burnt out. And one thing that I experienced for myself is putting so much on my plate actually caused me to do nothing because seeing all these things I wanted to achieve and all these responsibilities I needed to do, it looked like this big mountain I needed to climb and I didn't even want to get started. And not working towards those goals and not doing what I was supposed to be doing actually caused me more stress and more anxiety than actually working on those things. There's a very common trend I'm seeing now. It's like be 1% better. And as like cliche as that might sound, it's actually true. You always hear these quotes where it's like, I think there's that very famous Will Smith quote I'll put in this video as well, but it's brick by brick. You keep placing a brick every day, you'll have a house at the end of it. And it's really true, to be honest with you. And not working on any tasks or not doing, working on those goals that you actually have would actually cause you more stress and more fatigue and more burnout and actually cause you to be more upset. To be honest with you, I think balancing your schedule and balancing life is key. And it's a life skill that you won't be able to potentially learn overnight, but there are tools out there available, and maybe this video can help you overcome it. But in my opinion, it's a very crucial life skill that you can apply to if you're studying, if you're working, and some people they crack it from early and they know how to balance and have a schedule from early. Some people have taken me, for example. I'm 25 now, and slowly still adjusting what it's like to organize myself and have a schedule. So me personally, what I've found to manage that works for me is having a weekly to-do list. And so what I'll do on a Sunday night is set all the tasks I have to do for that week, and I will also align that with what goal that's going to be working towards. So for example, if it's studying for a certification, I will then put that towards the long-term goal of being a senior engineer who's got these certifications and learning all these new concepts and theories that is contributing towards that. And then you can also have general life goals as well. I think it's important to also have that. I'll even put very basic life admin, returning a package and all these things that I'll need to get done that week. And then as the week kind of goes along, I'll put on my calendar like a time block to try and just get through those tasks. And so, for example, with this, I've time blocked a couple hours after work, film, record some videos. I've got some topics I've brainstormed on a Notion spreadsheet and just going through them. Personally, the tool I use is Notion. You can use anything. You can use a notes app. You can use whatever you like. But I think just putting those thoughts down on paper is the first step that you should take, and that will kind of definitely free up a lot of thoughts on your mind, and that can definitely help with kind of that burnout or that mental fatigue that you might be having. And then I think just general tools for studying like Anki for flashcards. Look into something called Active Recall if you've got any exams or certifications coming up, or if you're learning a new theory or a new concept and you want to keep that fresh in your mind. It's definitely a tool that you should use, and it's very underrated. And I think just holding yourself accountable and reminding yourself of your why. So if you have this goal, one day I want to be a millionaire. It's like, okay, cool. Is it just gonna fall on your lap? You think to yourself, oh, maybe I'll just figure it out when I'm older. But it doesn't just fall into your lap. It is the 1% every day of improvement. You know, 1% contributing towards something every day. And you know, even with this channel, I'll set the goal, if I could get 100 subscribers, I'm like, is that 100 subscribers going to fall on my lap? No. I've got to sit down for a couple hours every day, record some videos, you know, edit it, put the time in, and work towards that goal. And so yeah, this can be applied to every aspect of life. Even with the gym, progressively overloading, you're slowly getting better and slowly getting stronger every gym session. You're showing up every gym session. And you know, you have your ups and downs. You could get injured. You can have some soreness, and that prostration, that is, you know, it's a roadblock. But you shouldn't quit at every roadblock. You know, you're gonna have some ups and downs. You're gonna take, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But as long as you're still going towards the right direction and you're doing all the right things, you will, you know, definitely see results and reap the rewards. So yeah, I think having a balance and a schedule is key. It's not something that I didn't learn this at school. I to be honest with you, I was winging most of my academic life, and some people, it works for them. They don't need to study. They need to organize themselves, and they're great. Some people can just pick up a pen and just get to work, and that's fine for them. That works for them. Some people, they have a daily to-do list. Some people can keep it on their mind. Whatever works for you, sure. But don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't convince yourself that, you know what, I work better at night. It's like, well, do you actually? Like, let's take a step back. Do you work better at night? Do you work better in the morning? Like, but is that realistic? Can you maintain that? Are you relying on caffeine to stay up and get work done? So yeah, hold yourself accountable. Kind of zoom out. Look at yourself from the outside, and look after yourself like you would look after a family member. Put yourself first. Put your goals first. And yeah, it kind of went on a bit of a tangent from like organizing yourself to like a bit of a motivational speech. I didn't mean it to be like that, but yeah. I think, yeah, or you could think of it as like encouragement for people that might be juggling a lot or have a lot on their plate. Like, you can do it. Like, not working on your goals and not working on these tasks will actually cause you more stress and more fatigue. So, yeah. And then with that being said, rest is also necessary. So it's not just like grind and lock in and 24/7 just studying and working. And, you do need to rest. You do need that social life, but there's balance, Again, relating to the gym, you have that cheat meal once a week, no problem. As long as you're getting your shit done throughout the week, you've done your gym sessions, you've done your training, you've gone for your runs, you've done your cardio, you've done your lifts, you can have that cheat meal, sure. You've tracked your calories for the week, and you're fine. And it's the same thing with your, for example, your programming. Let's say you're trying to learn how to code. You've done your project, you've worked on a few features for your web app, or you've reached a certain part of your course that you're at. It's now the weekend, and you want to go out with your friends. That's fine. You've done what you need to do, and you don't need to feel guilty about that. So you can still rest. And if anything is necessary, you must rest so that you can actually maintain, whatever it is you're working on it longer. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out and you're going to quit. 2-3 months in. And it's again with the gym. You know a lot of people that, I don't know. You might be this this type of person where you get this spur of motivation and you're driven off this motivation and you grind and you go in the gym, you're training 5, 6, 7 times a week. They can't maintain that for 3-4 months, and then they quit, and then they've lost all their progress again. But instead, in my opinion, what might be a better approach is train 3 times a week. See if you can do that for 3-4 months, and then maybe increase to 4. And then at that point, you've been able to train for 6-7 months rather than just 3-4 months. And it's the same thing with programming. Same thing with, you can apply that with programming, learning a new skill, whatever it is. Pace yourself. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. Again, it's very cliche shit, but it's cliche for a reason. It works. So yeah, these are the things that kind of help me stay consistent, not being driven off motivation, and like instead just being consistent. So yeah, have these goals, have these tasks, hold yourself accountable, and yeah, you got this, man.